Keisha Williams hurries down Oak Street every morning at 7:15 a.m. She works at the Children's Hospital as a nurse. Rain or shine, she takes the same path to catch her bus. One cold Tuesday morning, she sees a man sitting by the old brick wall. He looks thin and tired. His clothes are dirty. A small cardboard sign sits next to him. "Excuse me," Keisha says softly. She pulls a granola bar from her purse. "Would you like this?" The man looks up. His eyes are kind but sad. "Thank you, miss. That's very nice of you." "I'm Keisha," she says with a warm smile. "I'm Marcus," he replies. "Marcus Thompson." Keisha notices something different about Marcus. He sits up straight. He speaks clearly. When he says, "Thank you," he looks her right in the eyes. The next morning, Keisha brings 2 granola bars. The morning after that, she brings a sandwich. Marcus always says, "Thank you." He always asks how her day is going. "You don't have to keep doing this," Marcus tells her after a week. "I want to," Keisha says. "Everyone needs a friend." What Keisha doesn't know is that Marcus watches her walk away each morning. He sees her stop to help an old lady cross the street. He sees her give money to a young mother with crying children. What Marcus doesn't tell Keisha is why he's really on the streets. He has a secret that will change everything. A secret about honor, duty, and sacrifice. A secret that 12 men in uniform will reveal on the most important day of Keisha's life. But for now, it's just a nurse and a homeless man sharing breakfast on Oak Street. 3 months pass. Keisha brings Marcus food every single day. Some days it's leftover soup from dinner. Other days it's fresh fruit from the store. She never misses a day, even when she's sick. "Why do you do this?" Marcus asks one rainy morning. They're both sitting under the small roof of the bus stop. Keisha thinks for a moment. "My grandmother always said, 'We rise by lifting others.' She taught me that kindness costs nothing, but means everything." Marcus nods slowly. "Your grandmother sounds like a wise woman." "She was," Keisha says. "She raised me after my parents died in a car crash. I was only 8. "I'm sorry," Marcus says. "That must have been hard." "It was. But Grandma Rose made sure I knew I was loved. She worked 3 jobs to send me to nursing. School." Marcus looks down at his hands. "She would be proud of you." "I hope so," Keisha says. "What about your family, Marcus?" Marcus's face changes. For a moment, he looks far away. I had brothers. Good men. The best men I ever knew." "Had?" Keisha asks gently. "They're gone now," Marcus says quietly. "All of them." Keisha doesn't push for more. She can see the pain in his eyes. Winter comes. The mornings get colder. Keisha starts bringing hot coffee in a thermos. She brings warm gloves and a thick blanket. "You should be helping your own family," Marcus says one morning. "Not wasting money on me." "You're not a waste," Keisha says firmly. "And I don't have much family left. Just me." "No boyfriend? No husband?" Marcus asks. Keisha laughs. "No time for that. I work long hours at the hospital. When would I date?" "You deserve happiness," Marcus says. "You deserve someone who sees how special you are." Keisha feels her cheeks get warm. "Thank you, Marcus. That's sweet." What Keisha doesn't know is that Marcus has been making phone calls. Quiet phone calls from the library. He's been tracking down old friends. Important friends. What Marcus doesn't tell her is that he's been asking questions about her. Not to hurt her, but to protect her. He's learned about her work at the hospital. He's learned that she volunteers at the soup kitchen on weekends. He's learned that she sends money to help kids in foster care. Marcus has decided something important. When the time is right, he will make sure Keisha gets the honor she deserves. The honor that only 12 very special men can give. But not yet. First, he needs to find the right moment. The perfect moment. By spring, Keisha and Marcus have real conversations. She tells him about her patients at the hospital. He listens to every word. "There's this little boy named Tommy," Keisha says one morning. "He's only 6. He has cancer. But every day, he asks me if I'm having a good day. Can you believe that? He's the one who's sick, but he worries about me." Marcus smiles. Kids see the world differently. They see what really matters. "Exactly," Keisha says. "Tommy draws me pictures, stick figures of us holding hands. He says, 'I'm his best friend.'" "You probably are," Marcus says. "You have a gift, Keisha. You make people feel like they matter." Keisha looks at Marcus carefully. "You're different from when we first met. How so?" "You seem, I don't know, stronger, more confident, like you're remembering who you used to be." Marcus is quiet for a long moment. "Maybe I am." One day, Keisha brings exciting news. "Marcus, I'm getting married." Marcus's face lights up. "That's wonderful. Tell me about him." "His name is David. He's a teacher. We met at the hospital when his student broke her arm. He's kind and funny and—" Keisha pauses. "He reminds me of you, actually." "How?" "He cares about people. Really cares. He sees the good in everyone." "When's the wedding?" Marcus asks. "June 15th. Small ceremony at the community center. Just close friends and family." Marcus nods. He's a lucky man. "I want you to come," Keisha says suddenly. Marcus looks surprised. "Keisha, I don't think—" "I mean it," she says. "You've been my friend for over a year. You've listened to me every morning. You've made my days brighter. I want you there." "I don't have nice clothes," Marcus says quietly. "I don't care what you wear," Keisha says. "I care that you're there." Marcus feels tears in his eyes. "Okay," he says. "I'll be there." What Keisha doesn't know is that Marcus goes straight to the library after she leaves. He makes more phone calls. Important phone calls. "It's time," he tells someone on the phone. "She's getting married June 15th. Yes, I'm sure. She's the one. She's everything we stand for." What Marcus doesn't tell Keisha is that he's been planning this moment for months. He's been waiting for the perfect opportunity to show her what real honor looks like. The phone calls he's been making aren't to old friends. They're to his brothers, his Marine brothers, the men he served with in Afghanistan, the men who came home when others didn't. Marcus has told them all about Keisha, about her kindness, about how she never missed a day, never asked for anything in return, about how she treats a homeless veteran like he's family. "She represents everything we fought for," Marcus told them. "Everything we lost, brothers, protecting. Freedom, kindness, the belief that every person matters." His Marine brothers agreed. On June 15th, they will give Keisha something no civilian ever receives, something that will take her breath away. But first, Marcus has one more secret to reveal. One that will explain everything. One that will show Keisha who he really is and why 12 Marines are about to change her life forever. June 15th arrives with perfect sunshine. Keisha wakes up nervous, but excited. She's marrying the love of her life today. At the community center, friends and family gather. The room is decorated with white flowers and soft lights. Everything looks beautiful. Keisha puts on her grandmother's pearl necklace. "Wish you were here, Grandma Rose," she whispers to the mirror. David looks handsome in his black suit. His eyes sparkle when he sees Keisha in her white dress. "You're perfect," he tells her. "Have you seen Marcus?" Keisha asks, looking around the room. "I hope he comes." "I'm sure he will," David says. "You mean a lot to him." The ceremony begins. Keisha's heart pounds as she walks down the aisle. David's smile makes her feel like the luckiest woman alive. "Do you, David, take Keisha to be your wife?" the minister asks. "I do," David says clearly. "Do you, Keisha, take David to be your husband?" "I do," Keisha says, tears of joy in her eyes. "You may kiss the bride." Everyone claps and cheers. Keisha and David are married. But as they turn to face their guests, Keisha gasps. Standing at the back of the room are 12 men in military uniforms, perfect blue uniforms with shiny buttons and white gloves. Marines. They stand at attention, completely still. Their faces are serious and proud. Keisha's hand flies to her mouth. "What's happening?" she whispers. David looks confused too. No, uninvited Marines to the wedding. Then Marcus steps forward. But he's not the same Marcus. He's wearing a Marine dress uniform too. His shoulders are straight, his head is high. He looks like a completely different person. "Keisha," Marcus says in a strong, clear voice, "may I have your attention?" The whole room goes quiet. Everyone stares. Marcus walks to the front of the room. The 12 Marines follow him, moving in perfect formation. "For 1 year and 4 months," Marcus begins, "this woman brought me food every single day. She didn't know who I was. She didn't ask for anything in return. She just saw a human being who needed help." Keisha's eyes fill with tears. She doesn't understand what's happening. "What Keisha doesn't know," Marcus continues, "is that I am Gunnery Sergeant Marcus Thompson, United States Marine Corps. I served 3 tours in Afghanistan." Gasps fill the room. Keisha's mouth falls open. "I came home when 12 of my brothers didn't," Marcus says, his voice shaking slightly. "I couldn't handle the guilt. I couldn't handle being alive when they were gone. So I walked away from everything. My family, my home, my life." Tears roll down Keisha's cheeks. "But this woman," Marcus says, looking right at her, "this incredible woman showed me what my fallen brothers died protecting. Kindness, honor, the belief that every person has worth." The 12 Marines step forward in perfect unison. "Keisha Williams," Marcus says formally, "by the power of brotherhood, honor, and gratitude, these Marines and I present ourselves to you on your wedding day, not because we have to, but because we want to honor someone who represents the very best of America." One by one, each Marine steps forward and salutes Keisha. Their white gloves snap to their foreheads in perfect precision. "Thank you, each," Marine says as he salutes, "for showing us that heroes don't always wear uniforms." Keisha can't speak. She can't breathe. 12 Marines are saluting her at her wedding. But the biggest surprise is still coming. The room is completely silent except for the sound of Keisha crying. Happy tears, shocked tears, overwhelmed tears. "Chatti, don't understand," she whispers. "Marcus, why didn't you tell me?" Marcus's eyes are wet too. "Because it didn't matter who I used to be. What mattered was who. You helped me remember I could be again." The lead Marine, a tall man with gray hair, steps forward. His chest is covered with ribbons and medals. "Ma'am, I'm Colonel James Mitchell," he says to Keisha. "Gunnery Sergeant Thompson contacted me 3 months ago. He told me about your kindness, about how you never missed a day, never asked questions, never expected anything back." Keisha looks around the room. Her wedding guests are crying too. David takes her hand and squeezes it. "In my 30 years as a Marine," Colonel Mitchell continues, "I've seen many brave acts. I've pinned medals on heroes. I've spoken at funerals for men and women who gave everything for their country." He pauses, his voice growing stronger. "But what you did, ma'am, represents something even more powerful. You saw a person who needed help, and you helped. Every single day. Not for glory, not for recognition, but because it was right." The colonel reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small blue box. "The Congressional Medal of Honor is our nation's highest military award," he says. "It's given only to service members who show extraordinary bravery in combat." Keisha's heart pounds. Why is he talking about the Medal of Honor? "What I hold here," the colonel continues, "is something different, something that has never been done before." He opens the box. Inside is a beautiful medal with red, white, and blue ribbon. By unanimous vote of these 12 Marines, with the blessing of Gunnery Sergeant Thompson, we present you with the first-ever Civilian Medal of Honor. Created specifically for you, approved by our commanding officers to recognize exceptional service to a military veteran. Keisha's knees almost give out. David holds her steady. "This medal," Colonel Mitchell says, "represents the gratitude of every Marine who served with Marcus, every Marine who came home, and every Marine who didn't." Marcus steps forward again. "Keisha, you saved my life, not just with food, but with hope. You reminded me that I was worth saving." "But Marcus," Keisha says through her tears, "I just gave you breakfast. Anyone would have done that." "No," says one of the other Marines, a young man with kind eyes. "Most people look away. Most people pretend not to see. You saw a human being." Another Marine nods. "You didn't see a homeless man. You saw someone's son, someone's brother, someone who mattered." The colonel steps closer to Keisha. "May I?" Keisha nods, not trusting her voice to work. With gentle hands, Colonel Mitchell places the medal around Keisha's neck. The room erupts in applause. "Ladies and gentlemen," the colonel announces, "I present Mrs. Keisha Williams, the first civilian to receive the Marine Medal of Honor for service above and beyond the call of duty." Everyone stands and claps. Some people cheer. David kisses Keisha's cheek. But Marcus isn't done yet. "There's one more thing," he says, raising his hand for quiet. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out an envelope. "Keisha, these Marines and I took up a collection. We wanted to give you something for your new life with David." He hands her the envelope. With shaking hands, Keisha opens it. Inside is a check. Her eyes go wide when she sees the amount. $50,000. "For your house," Marcus explains. for your future, for all the children you and David will help in your lives. Keisha can't speak. She can't even cry anymore. She just stares at the check, at the medal around her neck, at the 12 Marines standing in perfect formation. "But how?" she finally whispers. Marcus smiles. "We Marines take care of our own. And Keisha, you're family now. You've always been family." David steps forward and shakes Marcus's hand. "Thank you," he says simply. "Thank you for seeing what I see in her every day." The Marines begin to file out, each one stopping to salute Keisha one more time. But before Marcus leaves, Keisha grabs his arm. "Will I still see you?" she asks. "On Oak Street?" Marcus smiles the biggest smile she's ever seen from him. "No," he says, "because tomorrow I start my new job at the Veterans Affairs Office, helping other Marines find their way home." He pauses. "But I'll never forget the woman who helped me find mine." 6 months later, Keisha and David's house is filled with laughter. They used the Marines' gift money as a down payment on a small home near the hospital. The house has 3 bedrooms, one for them, one for David's home office, and one that they're turning into a nursery. Keisha is 3 months pregnant. "Have you thought of names?" Marcus asks. He's sitting at their kitchen table, wearing a nice shirt and tie. His job at the Veterans Affairs Office is going well. He's helped 15 homeless veterans find housing and jobs. "If it's a boy," Keisha says, rubbing her growing belly, "we want to name him Marcus." Marcus's eyes fill with tears. "Keisha, you don't have to." "We want to," David says firmly. "You changed our lives. If it wasn't for you, we never would have had that amazing wedding day." "If it's a girl," Keisha adds with a smile, "we're thinking Rose, after my grandmother." Marcus nods. "She would love that." There's a knock at the door. David opens it to find a young woman holding a baby. "Is this where Marcus Thompson lives?" she asks nervously. "I'm Marcus," he says, standing up. "Can I help you?" The woman starts crying. "My husband is Staff Sergeant James Rivera. He served with you in Afghanistan. He's been homeless for 2 years. He's given up." Marcus's face grows serious. "Where is he now?" "Under the bridge on 5th Street. He won't come home. He won't get help. But someone told me. You might understand." Marcus looks at Keisha and David. "I have to go." "We're coming with you," Keisha says immediately. "Keisha, you're pregnant. You don't need to—" "Marcus," she interrupts. "What did you teach me about Marines?" Marcus smiles. "We take care of our own." "Exactly. And James is family now, too." 30 minutes later, they find James under the bridge. He's thin and dirty, just like Marcus was. His eyes are empty and sad. "Jimmy," Marcus calls softly. "Jimmy, Rivera?" James looks up. His face changes when he recognizes Marcus. "Sergeant Thompson? What are you doing here?" "Looking for you, brother." James shakes his head. "You shouldn't have come. I'm nobody now. I'm nothing." "You're wrong," Keisha says, stepping forward. "You're someone's husband, someone's father. You're a Marine." She kneels down next to James, ignoring the dirt and smell. "I know you're hurting," she says gently. "I know you feel lost. But you're not alone." She reaches into her purse and pulls out a granola bar. "Would you like this?" James stares at the granola bar, then at Keisha, then at Marcus. "She did this for me," Marcus explains. "Every day for over a year, she saved my life." "I'm Keisha," she says with her warm smile. "What's your name?" "James," he whispers. "Well, James, how about we start with breakfast tomorrow? I'll meet you right here at 7:30 a.m. Does that work?" James looks confused. "Why would you do that?" "Because everyone needs a friend," Keisha says. "And because my friend Marcus taught me that Marines are worth saving." James starts crying. His wife runs over and hugs him. "Baby, please come home," she begs. "Please let us help you." "I can't," James sobs. "I left everyone behind. Tony, Rodriguez, Williams, they all died and I lived. How is that fair?" Marcus kneels down too. "It's not fair, Jimmy. It will never be fair. But living with guilt isn't honoring them. Living with purpose is." "What purpose?" James asks. "What's the point?" Marcus looks at Keisha. "The point is that there are people who still believe in us. People who see us as heroes, even when we can't see it ourselves." He helps James stand up. "The point is that we get to choose what comes next." Over the next few weeks, James starts meeting Keisha every morning, just like Marcus did. She brings him food, coffee, and hope. David helps James find counseling at the VA. Marcus helps him apply for benefits and job training. James's wife brings their baby to meet Keisha. "Thank you," she whispers. "Thank you for not giving up on him." "I learned from the best," Keisha says, looking at Marcus. 3 months later, they all gather for another special occasion. Keisha and David's baby is born. Marcus David Williams. Weighs 7 pounds, 2 ounces. He has his mother's kind eyes and his father's gentle smile. "He's perfect," Marcus says, holding the baby carefully. Colonel Mitchell and 3 of the Marines from the wedding come to visit. They bring gifts and congratulations. "How many veterans have you helped now?" Colonel Mitchell asks Marcus. 23, Marcus says proudly. "All because Keisha showed me that helping one person at a time can change the world." James Rivera is there too. He's clean and healthy. He got a job at the post office and moved his family into a small apartment. "I want to do what you do," James tells Marcus. "Help other veterans." "We can always use more help," Marcus says. Keisha watches. All these men, these Marines, talking and laughing in her living room. She thinks about that first morning on Oak Street. She never imagined that one granola bar would lead to all this. "What are you thinking about?" David asks, sitting next to her. "I'm thinking about my grandmother," Keisha says. "She always said, 'We rise by lifting others.'" David looks around the room. "Look how high you've risen." "Look how high we've all risen," Keisha corrects him. Baby Marcus makes a small sound. Keisha picks him up and holds him close. "You know what I'm going to teach you," she whispers to her son. "I'm going to teach you that kindness is the most powerful force in the world. I'm going to teach you that everyone deserves to be seen and valued." She looks at Marcus, who's showing James pictures on his phone. "And I'm going to teach you that sometimes the people who seem the most lost are actually the ones with the most to give." Marcus catches her eye and smiles. The same kind, grateful smile he gave her that first morning on Oak Street. "Thank you," he mouths silently. Keisha smiles back. "Thank you," she mouths in return. Because the truth is, Marcus saved her just as much as she saved him. And that's what real family does. Keisha's story reminds us that kindness has the power to change lives in ways we never expect. One granola bar led to a friendship. That friendship led to honor, healing, and hope for an entire community of veterans. Where are you listening from today? Drop a comment and let us know. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Together, we can spread more stories of kindness and hope around the world. And speaking of incredible stories, click on the video appearing on your screen right now about a rich man who forces a black waitress to sing to mock her. But her voice leaves him absolutely speechless. You won't believe what happens next. I will see you in the next one.